Slavery approved by Dr. Wesley Muhammad, Ph.D. Here is what he said during his Black Illuminati lecture on May 25, 2012, speaking about the so-called Black Arabs. Quote, "The indigenous Africans in it coexisted well with them. That changed when they were replaced in Egypt and in North Africa by Turks. The help that the Nubians will catch from Muslim Egypt wasn't from the Black Arabs. After those Black Arabs tried to run up in Nubia, got their butts beat, and then that was it. They coexisted nicely. The Copts in Egypt and the Black Arabs in Egypt coexisted nicely. It was when the Black Arabs were replaced by Turks that Islam and Muslims, that the blacks, Copts, and Nubians caught hair from Muslims in North Africa." Now, compare this with the same little homie back down, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, Ph.D., from his own comic book, Black Arabia, page 217. The pact was both a non-aggression pact and a trade agreement between Muslim Egypt and Nubia, terms which were determined by the victors, Nubia. It goes on to say, 360 slaves annually sent by Nubia to Egypt. It goes on to say, the last stipulation has been the focus of some criticism and misrepresentation in some Christian and Afrocentrist circles. It goes on to say, this part of the agreement is often described as tribute imposed on the hapless Nubians by the lustful Muslim slavers. He goes on to say, but this interpretation completely fails to take proper notice of a simple fact. The Nubians were the victors and therefore had the leverage. Now, you might have to focus on this, maybe even meditate on this. What I do is not just for the hell of it. I don't argue, I state facts, but in this point you can see how useful my work is, because it is to help to save the sanity of black people. For a little homie, whether he has a PhD or not, to talk about a trade agreement with 360 slaves sent annually. So basically we're dealing with slave trading. This is a trade agreement. 360 slaves sent annually, and talking about this was determined by the victors. So basically you're victorious and you send 360 slaves every year. Can't you just see? Arab flunkies. Even when 360 slaves, we have 360 degrees of insanity right there, are sent to Muslims, they're still trying to make a good thing out of it. No wonder that when the danger with raping girls, we don't hear nothing about it, but they're gonna break our back with the Zionist talk. When the guy they're crying over, whose death they're crying over, Gaddafi, gave millions of dollars to so-called Zionists, according to so many Muslims, whether they are black or bootleg Muslims or not. But this is another story. Let's stay focused there. The Nubians were the victors and therefore had the leverage. So when you have the leverage and you're the victors, you send 360 slaves. So we are told that the indigenous Africans, basically we are told that the hell that the Nubians caught wasn't from black Muslims, because he claims that they were black Muslims, but you know, this is just comedic. But dealing with the issue, not dealing with the color of these Muslims, Nubia, there's an agreement, 360 slaves. Do you understand what's going on? How much time do I have? Because I don't want to make this long. It's going to be 5 minutes. I'm going to stop there because I said everything that needed to be said. It is what it is. I don't argue, I state facts.